Howdy guys and girls, Dr. Buff here. It's been a while since we've done another video of a car, so I thought we'd do another one as of late. As you can all see, we've got a black Mustang here which needs to be corrected. This one's going to be a stage 2, but the main focus of this video is we're going to dispel the myth of why black is the hardest colour to work with, as a lot of our industry professionals would tell you, and why it's the worst colour to maintain, and why it's the worst colour to work with, and everything else. I mean, we don't have the perfect environmental conditions for showing this car off right now, so you can see what it looks like before it's corrected, but it's not too bad overall. But I mean, ideal working conditions makes my job easier when the car's when we're in this condition, but for the purpose of showing off cars, it's not the ideal conditions. We can't really see what's wrong with the car in this shade of light either. But the point of the video is not so much the car itself, it's more the colour itself. And we're going to finally put the rest, the myths about black, and why everybody says they are the hardest colour to work with, and the sort of things you should avoid when you hear those comments. So talk soon. Yeah, catch up. Hey guys, Dr. Buff here again. Send off to the last video. We're showing this Mustang off. This has just been completed. We've still got the end detailing, of course, to do with the interior, but going back to all about black cars and how they should look when they're properly done, this gives you some idea of how a nice completed black Mustang would look like when it's completed the right way. We're going to be talking a little bit more about this black paint issue and why black paint is supposedly very difficult to work with. So stay tuned. But as for now, this Mustang's just been completed with a stage 2, and it's come up rather nice. Better than I expected, actually. Completely all the way from the correction to the seal, and we have a beautiful rich black full depth paint job and gloss to boot. I think this owner will be definitely over the moon when he sees this car. Alright guys, there you go. This is the Mustang we just finished in the last couple of videos that you've been seeing, we've been putting together. This isn't so much about showing off what paint correction should look like or anything like that, even though a nicely paint corrected car doesn't look like this. This is more to do with the myth of black paint. Now, if you're watching this video, chances are that you're probably intrigued as to what I have to say about black paint. Now, a little before I get on to black paint, I've been doing paint correction, polishing cars pretty much all my life, and black paint has been a very big part of my life. There hasn't been a black car we haven't been able to restore, and except the ones that can't be obviously restored, which are too deep with damage, whether it be from car washes or just bad negligent washing really, but where clear coats have thinned out. Detailers have tried repeatedly to fix it and gone through clear coats and so forth. But this video here is all about the myth of black paint being difficult to work with, black paint being one of the hardest paints to try and fix, and black paint just basically in general being hard to correct or to detail or to do anything. As you can see, this black Mustang looks absolutely luxurious with the way it's been finished, and this is a total of 3 passes to bring this car up to this. Now, having said that, it makes no difference that it's black paint. Doesn't matter if it's black, white, yellow, blue or red. Makes no difference if it's black paint. I'm going to debunk a myth here that black paint is one of the worst paints to work with. It's one of the most difficult paints to work with, and every detailer has been telling you it's one of the worst paints to work with. Well, wake up call. It's not one of the worst paints to work with. It is not one of the most difficult paints to fix. It is actually one of the most easiest paints to fix. Let me explain why. Black paint, as opposed to your reds, blues, whites, yellows, greens, shows everything. There is nothing you can hide on it. You can't hide your swirl marks, you can't hide your bird etchings, your holograms, you can't hide bad detailing, you can't hide bad paint correction. There is nothing you can hide on black that other colours may be able to hide. So this is a perception that people have developed. Not so much detailers, because detailers are in the know, but more so people who own black cars or are about to buy a black car and then watered up buying a black car. This is the perception they've developed, that because black shows everything, it's one of the worst colours to try and maintain and clean. Now, from a detailing perspective, it is one of the best colours. From a customer perspective, it could be one of the worst colours because the customer's trying to keep his car looking clean all the time. Now, from a detailing perspective, if you really think about it, how could black paint be one of the worst colours to fix or correct or detail if you know what the hell you're doing? Think about it. I bring a black car into my workshop, I turn the lighting on, it shows me all the scratches, it shows me all the swirl marks, all the holograms, all the crap that it has wrong with it. It tells me where the car's been, whether it's been maintained by the owner or whether it's been through car washes. Black paint, don't lie, it is one of the most honest paints to deal with. Now, if I know what I'm doing as a paint correction specialist in terms of how to correct paint, why would black be one of the worst colours to correct? It's in fact one of the best and most easiest colours to correct. I often get calls from customers who tell me, oh, I heard you're a black car detailer, I heard you're one of the best, or I heard it's one of the most difficult paints to deal with, and I've been referred to you. And I ask them, where do you get this perception that black paint is one of the most difficult colours to deal with? Oh, a lot of detailers tell me. That's right. A lot of detailers tell customers black paint is the worst paint to deal with. Well, it's not the worst paint to deal with. It is one of the easiest paints to deal with. Couple of tips to take note. When you are dealing with any detailer out there, or anybody who claims they're a paint correction specialist, a professional, they've been in the game for a long time, and you tell them you have a black car, and they turn around and tell you that black paint is one of the worst colours to deal with, it's one of the most hardest paints to fix. This includes ceramic paint, not just 2-pack, ceramic as well, all right? If you were hearing from any detailer paint correction specialist, it's a difficult paint to deal with, it's one of the hardest paints to deal with, it's one of the hardest paints to maintain or to draw colour off, get rid of damage and gloss it. Or if they're charging you extra to do a black paint, let it be known right now that you were dealing with somebody who doesn't know what they are doing. All right, black paint in the hands of a professional who knows what he's doing is not an issue. It's not of concern. It's not a problem. It's one of the best paints to deal with because I had this Mustang come in this morning. It had some swirl marks, some scratches. And I could see there's scratches outside in the shade, let alone under sunlight. Now, I brought it inside, I turned my lights on, look at it and go, oh, I know exactly what this car needs. Done and dusted, easy fixed. Now, professionals know what they're doing, professionals know how to fix it. So keep in mind, next time you buy a black car, you deal with a black car detailer, you have anybody who's telling you or giving you advice that it's one of the worst colours to own or one of the worst colours to fix, especially if they're detailers, they're giving you a bum steer, they're not giving you the right advice. They're more than likely going to take you for a ride. The myth of black cars being the worst cars to detail or carry out paint correction is an industry-forced speculation, it's an industry-forced perception. It's not forced by clients, customers, it's forced by the industry. And it's the sector in this industry that does not understand what they are doing. Paint correction applies evenly across the board with all paints. All that matters is the combination you choose. Doesn't matter if it's white, doesn't matter if it's solid 2-pack, clear coat, whatever. Doesn't matter if it's yellow, blue, black, green, purple, pastel colors. It matters not. Paint correction applies evenly. Whether I'm doing black, whether this was red, I have a red Mustang coming next week, no difference. The same paint correction application will probably apply and it'll get the same results. It matters not whether it's red, whether it's black, whether it's yellow or green. So keep that in mind next time you deal with detailers. If they're charging you extra to do a black car, or if they're telling you that it's one of the worst colors to work with, one of the most difficult colors to work with, they're giving you a bum steer. 7 out of 10 cars I get are black, 7 out of 10 cars I get a car wash damaged, and they're black, all right? And about 8 or 9 cars out of 10 that I do which are black are restorable. And they turn out just like this. Full of gloss, full of depth, no more scratches, no more swirl marks, no more holograms, easy done and dusted. Black is the easiest color to work with. Remember this. Thank you for joining me.